to another brand new episode here on 1950's Farm. So how are you all doing? How is your day going? My day is not going too bad. We're very busy, as you can see. We've been very busy. We got the other field, the first field of wheat finished, and then we've obviously come straight into this field and getting on. We're sort of early evening really now, 6 o'clock. Yeah, so we're getting on, and it's not going too bad actually, to be fair. The first sort of couple of breeds around the outside did seem to take a long time. It's a long way around this field, but as soon as we sort of got past the first maybe 3 or 4 breeds, it seems to be that the field is kind of sort of disappearing rapidly. You know, we're definitely getting through this. After this field, we've just got Harry's field of wheat to finish. Whether I do that one on camera or not, I don't know. Just because I don't want every episode to be filled with harvesting. Although that's what we're doing, and that's the time of year, and that's what will be in a lot of videos. You know, sort of Harry's work. Although having said that, it's not a very big field, and to be fair, it wouldn't take all that long to do that field. It's kind of sort of more long and thin, that one, rather than anything else. But yeah, so not trailing the straw in this one. We've got a straw shed full of bales. We certainly don't need any more. However, the first field that I trailed, I did trail that deliberately, so I do plan on baling that field. But I'm going to do something slightly different with that field. So one of the things that sort of kind of came to my attention the other day when I was looking through some photos and looking through some of the pictures and what have you, and that had been sent to me, I didn't realise that, well, I guess it makes sense, and I perhaps should have realised, but and I should have taken my cue as well from people in the comments in the early videos saying, you know, well, actually it would be more likely to have been conventional bales, you know, at that time, you know, at that period in life, which it would have been, but what I didn't realise was, so I thought that in the sort of mid to late 40s, that, oh, do you know what? Honestly, James. So I've literally, this is the second time, right, that I'm recording the opening to this video, right? And the reason it's the second time is because the first time I did exactly what I've just done, which is I'd, you know, let the harvester fill and then sort of carry on into the crop. But then, and sometimes I kind of forget that I'm sort of, I've got the microphone in front of me, but sometimes I kind of forget that I'm, you know, what I'm saying is going to be broadcast out onto YouTube, right? And while it was, you know, family friendly and clean, and there was no, you know, expletives or anything like that in it, you know, I'm not suggesting that for a second, but I proceeded to really chastise and tell myself off for allowing that to happen. And I got about 15 minutes in and thought, you know what, I can't let this go out onto video. I thought, like, it's literally 15 minutes of me having a go at myself. That's not normal. So I decided that I would restart the video. And literally, the very next time that the combine got nearly full, I've let it happen again. But only this time we'll learn the lessons from the first take, and we won't sit here and chastise and have a go at ourselves. We'll just say, just pay more attention and look what you're doing. But yeah, so that was what happened the first time round. But yeah, so as I was saying, I thought that in the mid to late 40s the dairy farm had taken on a round baler, and It was the late 30s when round balers were sort of coming onto the market. It was as early as actually 1905 when the first round baler came onto the general market, but it wasn't on general market to be sold, so it would have gone to, you know, to a select group of farms to be tried, and it was unreliable. It really wasn't a success, and in 1907 the round balers were done, finished, and, you know, sort of almost in a way sort of going to be forgotten about. Then Vermeer, and I forget his first name, I'm sure it's Peter actually, came along and thought, no, we can make the round baler work. And he, in the early 40s, sorry, well, it started in the mid 30s. He'd been developing this round baler, and in the early 40s, again, select few farms across America were given the baler to try, and it was a great success. And so therefore, you know, they obviously persevered with it. They carried it on, and it meant that you know, by the mid to late 40s, you know, round balers were, you know, as commonplace as conventional balers across certain parts of America. The most popular place that round balers were in use was in the Midwest. So you're looking at sort of through Ohio and you know, sort of other areas of the Midwest. I didn't name any because my geography's not that good, and I can't remember all of the cities, all of the places in the Midwest, all of the states is what I was looking for, that were popular with them, but I can look that up. But as I say, you know, I'd sort of kind of thought that they'd done away with the conventional, but they hadn't. So they were still doing quite a few conventional bales each year. So now that I kind of been armed with that knowledge, and, you know, that's something that obviously I'm gonna do because that was something that was being done. But by the late 50s into the 60s, they had completely done away with the conventional bales, and round balers were the sort of the way they went permanently. For their cattle at least, sorry, excuse me. So I've still been taking quite a lot of cold remedies and different things like that, and I do feel much better today than what I did yesterday. I feel 10 times better today than what I did yesterday, but still kind of, my body is still kind of like, what's this crap you keep putting in us? Because I feel funny. So yeah, it's not pleasant. But so the wheat in this field has harvested unbelievably well. So you'll know that from the first field, we were putting that into the first silo, and we got the whole of that field in the first silo. No problem. I then came into this field within probably 2 rounds. I'd filled the first silo. Where we're at now, and the last time I came, so when I started the original episode, I was driving back to the combine from the grain bin, and that was the first unload that I'd put into here, I think. Or no, it might not have been actually. It might have been 3 loads before this one. But yeah, so basically this field finished off this silo. So it finished off this one, has already completely filled this one. And how much did we get in here? Yeah, so we have put a few loads in here as well. So Yeah, I'd kind of lost track of where we was at, but yeah, we're already now filling that one. So at some point, before we carry on, well, before we start the soybeans, we're going to have to empty and sell some grain because we're running out of space. Either that, or we're going to have to put another silo up, which I wasn't planning on doing this year. I've got to be honest. But we'll wait and see. We'll see what happens. Who knows? But yeah, I couldn't believe how well this field has yielded. Now I don't know whether that's because we put some manure on this field. So I don't know if you can remember at the end of the soybean harvest of last year, which would have been in the field we're in now. I had some manure left over from the previous year, and I said what we'll do is we'll just spread manure sort of up and down until we ran it out. And oh, hang on, I'm going the wrong way. He's over here. That was the way that was the direction I was heading in when I originally started the episode. But yeah, we're going this way. It's always important to remember where you left your combine. But yeah, so we put some manure down, and basically I just went this way, the way we're going now, up and down, until we got across, like until it ran out, which was about halfway down. So this end of the field, and until about halfway down, sort of there, is yielding absolutely fantastically. And as I say, this year we will be manure spreading all of our fields, because obviously we've got 2 cow barns now, and we're producing a ton load of crap, and we need to be spreading it. So yes. Right, there we go. So yeah, that's as I say, and that's what where we're at the moment. Because this one isn't being trailed, it does mean we can get on in here straight away with spreading the manure. The other field needs to be baled with the conventional baler. So the baler they had was now then I think it was, again I'm thinking off the top of my head here, I think it was an international, I think, but they did move over to a John Deere conventional baler, and because I can't find the international one that they had, so now they do, the dairy and Harry both do conventional bales, but a lot of the conventional bales they do are hay, and a vast number of them go to sort of the horse market and sort of things like that. So they do still do them today. So it is a thing they've gone back to, but as I say, they do have the John Deere conventional baler. Sorry, as I said in a video earlier this week, my head is a little bit mushed with all of the cold remedies that I've been taking, and although, as I say, I do feel a lot better, and I am taking a lot less now, I seem to sort of lose my trail of thought. So anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch over to a little bit of time lapse, and we're going to get some more harvested, and then we'll meet again a little bit later in the video, and we'll go from there. So I'll see you in a bit. So we're back, and as you can see, the night has fallen. To be fair, actually, this crawler doesn't have too bad of lights on it. Actually, they're better than what I kind of expected. But there is going to come a point in this that I'm not going to be able. It's going to get too dark for me to carry on, because as much as the lights are good for immediately in front, immediately behind, to the sides of the crawler and the combine, it's not going to be no good for the header, because eventually I'm not going to be able to see the mark, I think. Don't know, but as I say, we'll be carrying on for as long as is possible, just because I do want to get this, ideally I wanted to get this field done as well in the game day, but that's not looking entirely possible now, or looking less likely anyway. But yeah, so it's been another busy episode, another busy day harvesting, and all told, we're getting on very well. That silo is also filling up rather rapidly, so that's worrying me a little bit that we're not going to get all of this field in there, and that we're going to have you know, a period or an episode or whatever, if I might do it off camera, I don't know, of selling wheat, so that we can actually free some space up in the silos. But the money that we've got in the bank account at the moment, that is the dairy's money anyway. It's not all of the dairy's money. As I've said before, I keep a document. I do document how much each farmer's got, how much I've taken out, and what have you, and do so that you know, they are able to trade on their own money. So yeah, it's all fair and above board. But as I say, in the 50s, you know, not a great deal changed. Like I say, by now the dairy did have 3 self-propelled combines, and explained, I think it was in the last episode, of why we sort of can't do that at the moment, because I haven't got anything that can go underneath the augers to unload them, and I don't really want it to look unrealistic or have to keep editing out the bit where I unload them or whatever. So just for now, because it's fine, we'll keep it as it is at the moment. It's not too bad, and a bit later on, once I kind of find a solution, or once I, you know, sort of find a suitable mod or whatever, then we can switch over to them. But yeah, as I say, it's been a long old day, because we did that field over there, and when we started that field, we had 3 empty silos, and that field and the field we're in now later, and we very nearly have 3 completely full silos. So it's been a busy day down on 1950's farm today. I don't keep getting very square to this elevator. There we go. That, I think, I can't believe that is full. Let's have a look. No, it's not. Not by a long way. So it really is saying that you've got to be, you know, it can be bad, but I can't be on it that bad. It's not easy to line up. Because I'm not there, and there's the other thing as well is that if that had been a real farm, dear me, I'm going to be so far off this time. If this was a real farm, obviously it would be much easier to do, because what I would do is I would do this like I did the first time round, but I just didn't get myself at the right angle. So I would do this, and then lift the trailer up, and then do it like that. But it's, I don't know, from one side it looks like it's a completely different angle to the other side. I'm just getting all my excuses in now, to try and detract you all from the fact that I'm a terrible tractor driver, because I've gone so far off there, it's unbelievable. Oh dear. Right, let's go this way round with the camera and then we'll be able to see. But I say in real life it would be much easier because I would just obviously lift the trailer up slightly so that I could see underneath it, and once I could see underneath it, I would have absolutely no bother backing straight up to there. I mean, on the first farm that I worked on, when we used to unload onto the elevators, I used to be able to. Oh, the elevator is not available at this point. But the Grimmy one, the second one, so because there was one, oh, not this one, the one that attaches to it, used to tip into one that had the same tipping end as the in-game one. I used to back up to them no problem, but say with Farming Sim I do just have a bit of a trouble trying to like perception and angles and things. It's sort of kind of hard for me to pick out, but like I say, I'm just getting the excuses in so that you all don't think I'm a terrible tractor driver. There's a reason why I was left out in the middle of a field ploughing all day. Not because I was good at ploughing, it was because they just wanted me as far away from the farm, the buildings and other tractors as they could. Although they did used to trust me to drive it to and from wherever I was going, unless I was going a long way away, and then it would be put on the back of a lorry. But my Challenger and the plough would either be put on another lorry or whatever. But yeah, if we were going a long way away, because I did some ploughing once in 1 year in Derbyshire, and I'm from Lincolnshire. Everywhere's flat, and I live in the Fens, but sort of Lincolnshire, my side of Lincolnshire, around by the Fens and Norfolk and sort of Sutton Bridge and all around it, it's as flat as a pancake. Honestly, it is as flat as anything out here. I got to Derbyshire, and don't get me wrong, I'd seen hills, I'd been sort of ploughing. I'd done some ploughing before in Lincoln and places like that, and that was hilly. And I thought that was really hilly until I went to Derbyshire, and then I realised they were mere bumps. Compared to what was going on in Derbyshire, they were mere bumps, because that was really hilly. So much so that my Challenger, with the plough on the back, it really used to make her grunt going up some of those hills. She wasn't a great fan of them. Very often we would be sat having lunch and my tractor would turn around and go, "Can we go back to where the land's flat? Because that's just easy." It's just like, but yeah, ploughing up some incredibly steep banks and hills and what have you. It was good times. It was pretty out there. I'll give it that. To be fair, I mean, I didn't mind going away ploughing, and if it was a long way away that we were going contract ploughing, then I wouldn't go on them. I'd just say, nah, just send one of the other lads, because I didn't really like being away from home, and I didn't really like being away from my girlfriend at the time. I was fine sort of at work, but kind of wanted to know that I could go and see her if I wanted to, or Dad could bring her up to where I was working and she could have a couple of hours on the tractor with me or something. But but I say I did go to Derbyshire just because there was no one else, and I was told that it was me that was going, and I went. But Derbyshire was really pretty. The people were really nice. I just didn't like being away from, say, my girlfriend, not really. But all these years after, or later, after what's happened has happened, I should have gone there for 10 years, but there we go. Didn't know that at the time, did I? But it was alright. Couldn't wait to get home though. But yeah, so I've been sort of kind of lucky enough to go to some really nice places ploughing. And it was only pretty much contract ploughing that I did. So we did do other contract work. Not much in the way of contract work. I mean, it wasn't, our business, the business itself was you know, a proper arable, you know, veg. Um, well, arable and veg on one side, and then we had like the dairy, the beef stock, the pigs, you know, on the other side. I mean, it was spread over a vast area. So, but mainly, as I say, mainly the contracting was ploughing. We did do other bits and pieces. Like sometimes I'd go contract drilling in the autumn or in the spring if, you know, a farm was, you know, behind or just needed a hand or whatever, you know, then yeah, I'd go and do that. But and as well for the pea co-op. So a lot of farms, if they couldn't guarantee that they could get the peas in when we wanted the peas in, and they just said, oh, you know, well, we're potato planting or we're this, that, or whatever else, and, you know, we'll try, but we might not, then we would go and drill the peas. And usually I would go and drill the peas on the farm. And honestly, some farms, I used to get there, you know, and like, you know, Adrian would ring and like, you know, how are you getting on? And I'm like, you know, did we stipulate that it needed, you know, sort of pulling down before I got here? And he was like, yeah. So I was like, yeah, well, you want to see the mess that I've got to drill peas into, you know, and there would be clods as big as concrete boulders. Honestly, it was some places that I went, like, you know, it was like they were farming, but they wanted to be like as quick as they could farming. You know, they didn't want to take no time or pride or whatever into the, you know, the soil or whatever, or whether they just thought, oh, do you know what, it's not our drills and stuff that's going to be going through here, it's going to be their drills and, you know, possible cultivators. I mean, a couple of times I had to get tractors to come over with power harrows because I just couldn't drill into it. Like, it was, honestly, it was shocking. You know, and it was meant to be ploughed in September and then overwintered. You know, and we wouldn't necessarily always go and look to see where, you know, we would just trust that the farms are doing as we ask, and you know, we ask what we ask because, you know, the farm that, you know, the firm that I work for were, you know, expert in growing vegetables and wheats, and, you know, they were making, you know, considerable amount of money from growing these crops. And so when other people sort of wanted us to, or wanted in on a particular crop like the peas, you know, and we would say, well, you know, we need the ground prepared like this so that we can get them in this condition at this time of the year so that everything is good. And you know, farms would be like, yeah, we ploughed it in September, don't you worry about that. And because we wouldn't go and check, we'd just take their word for it. And the truth of the matter is, it probably wasn't ploughed until, you know, December, January, February time, you know. And as I say, you would end up then with just one massive cloddy mess, especially if in the springtime it then came sort of quite hot and dry quite quick. You know, honestly, some of the places that I went and the ground was the way, and I just thought, crikey, why'd you knock this down with? A kiddie's tractor or something, because it hasn't really been touched, if I'm honest with you. It's still a ploughed field. But yeah, anyway, I am going to leave this episode here, so thank you all very much for watching, and you know, I hope you've enjoyed it. And as I say, next time when you join me, we will be either still in this field or I may have moved on. I'm not sure where we're going to be next episode, but as I say, I thank you ever so much for watching this episode. I really appreciate each and every view that I get. As I said before, you know, I understand that people can, you know, you choose to watch my videos, and there's plenty out there to watch, and to the fact that you take time out of your day to watch my videos, it really does mean a great deal to me. And I'm very thankful and very grateful that you do. But yeah, all that's left for me to say is thanks ever so much for watching. Really enjoyed having your company, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Bye for now.